What if Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olivetown had rival marriages? In today's video, I'm going to examine which pairings I think would be together, what their rival scenes would be like, and how I would implement this system in the game. Damien is one of those characters who had a rough past, and so when he talks to you, he's really standoffish, and it takes a long time for him to get to warm up to you, so I think he needs to be with somebody who has a lot of patience, like Lynn. Lynn takes the time to write and receive letters from her friends, and honestly, who got time for that? Only somebody with a lot of patience. Of course, we gotta have some rival scenes, so this is how I would do their 3 scenes together. The first scene would be Lynn, and she would be really sad because there's a flower that's not really doing that well. As she's examining the flower, Damien walks by and tells her that it's a waste of time to try to save this flower. However, Rin says that she's not going to give up because it's never too late. Scene 2 is Lynn still tending to the flower, and it's starting to get better. It's starting to look a little bit greener, and there's maybe hope that it's going to recover. At this scene, Damien, then he walks by, and he's really impressed by Lynn's determination and the fact that she has patience for this flower. However, in the final scene, Lynn is actually really sad because the flower that she was trying so hard to get better, it ends up dying anyway, and so she's a little bit sad, and she's about to cry, but then, just as she's about to start crying, Damien runs over and gives her a hug. Then, shortly after this scene, of course, they're going to get married. For each of these pairings, I'm also going to say what I think that their child is going to wear. I think that their child could wear an Eevee outfit as a throwback to the fact that one of the kids wore a Pikachu outfit in Harvest Moon 64. Jack has a really good heart, but he's a bit on the lazy side, so he's going to need somebody who's hardworking, but also not really that clever, because otherwise they'd be annoyed with him. So I think the person that fits that description is Blair. Scene 1, Jack and his mom are outside walking around town, and he complains that he's hungry. His mom tells him that he should be an adult, go home, and cook. He says that's too much of a hassle. Blair overhears this, and she feels bad for him, so she says, "Hey, why don't you come to the cafe, and I'll cook you something up." His mom then shakes her head as those two are walking away and says he needs to learn to take care of himself. In scene 2, Jack is in his shop when his younger sister runs in and says that there's a new boat pulling into the dock. Jack is really excited and he wants to go see it, so he tells Blair to cover for him so that way he can go and see the new boat. Blair is a bit taken aback, but she agrees to help him out begrudgingly. Then in the last scene, it's going to be Blair very busy in the cafe. She's taking orders, cooking, making drinks, all those good things. Then Jack walks in and sees Blair, and he feels bad for her. So he says that he's going to help her out. So he starts taking orders, but each of the things he tries to do it like Blair did, but he ends up failing. He gives people the wrong orders, he makes the drink, but it spills everywhere, he breaks a glass, that type of thing. At the end, Blair is shaking her head, but she's also smiling because she appreciates the fact that Jack is putting effort in. She says she has a lot to teach him, but that's okay because they have all the time in the world. Their child is going to wear the Snorlax outfit because, yeah, I think Snorlax is the type of Pokemon that Jack would be. Up next, we have Iori, and Iori is really paranoid that someone is trying to come and attack him from his past, so he needs somebody who is really hardworking and can also take care of other people, like Bridget. In scene 1, Iori is fishing when he hears Bridget scream. He thinks somebody is attacking her, so he runs to find out what's happening. It turns out that a dog barked at her, and she screamed because she was scared. Iori, who thought someone was attacking her, is annoyed and says that she shouldn't make a big deal about small things. She says untamed dogs can be scary without proper training. Iori shakes his head and walks away. In scene 2, Iori is walking with his relative when he hears Bridget scream again, so he goes to run for her again. This time, there is a monkey running away with a banana. Bridget explains that she was startled because a monkey stole her banana. Iori laughs and says that he will buy her a new one. In the third scene, Bridget is going to scream, and this time it's the player who hears it and then goes to run to look for her. What he finds is Bridget and Iori are standing together next to a bear. Iori is standing in front of Bridget, and he moves his arms and starts screaming at the bear. The bear sees this and runs away. Iori tells Bridget that she doesn't have to be scared anymore because he's going to protect her from everything. Their child is going to wear a ninja outfit. Ralph loves protecting the wild, working hard, and also having a little bit of adventure in his life, so I think that he would be a perfect pair with Reina. Now, they both work hard, and they both like the wild, and they both like to live a little bit on the adventurous side. So, if they had a scene together, I think maybe it could work like this. Ralph is going to be telling a crowd about a new animal that he discovered on one of his patrols. It's a horse, but there was a horn in the middle of its head. Everyone laughs at him and walks away, except for Reina. Now, she says that she believes him and she hopes to see it one day. Scene 2, Reina runs to town, and now it's her telling the crowd that she also saw the unicorn. Now, again, everyone just laughs at her and walks away, except for Ralph, who believes her. Then, together, they vow to find proof of the unicorn and show it to everybody so they can prove that they were right and everyone else was wrong. The last scene is going to take place in the forest, and Ralph and Reina, this time they're walking together, and they spot the unicorn together. Reina is really excited, so she pulls out her camera and tries to take a picture. But then she realizes that the camera film is full and she can't take the photo because there's not any space. And as they say that, the unicorn runs away. They both laugh and say that, well, at least we both know that it's true. I guess we don't need other people to believe in us because we believe in each other. So, because both of them are walking around in the forest and they have scenes with bears, I think it would be fitting if their child wore a bear costume. Emilio, he likes to take it slow and enjoy life, so I think he'd be a good match with Laura, who likes to be a host and have fun with other people. So in scene 1, Laura is complaining that the number of visitors to the island is strangely decreasing recently. She needs a new plan to attract new tourists. Emilio overhears that and says, you don't have to worry about things that you can't control. Laura shakes her head and gets a little bit annoyed because she says that there are things that they could do to attract new people. He says, whatever, and walks away. The scene ends with Laura shaking her head, and yeah, she's a little bit annoyed. In scene 2, Laura starts going door to door and asking different villagers if they have any plans that could attract new visitors to the island. As she's running around being really busy trying to do this, she sees that Emilio is sitting on the beach and apparently doing nothing. This makes her very angry, so she runs up to him and tells him off. Then she doesn't wait for his response, she just walks away. Then, as she walks away, we get to see Emilio, and we can tell that he's working on something, but we can't really tell what it is. And Emilio tells the player that, yeah, Laura is going to be in for a big surprise. In the third scene, Laura sees boat after boat of visitors arrive on the island. She's really surprised and also really happy. She asks a few of the tourists, what made you decide to come to the village? And they say, oh, for the fish festival, of course. Laura has never heard of this before, so she runs to the beach to see what's going on. She sees a bunch of decorations, people having fun, and everyone just having a great time. Emilio says, surprise, I organized this fish festival to attract new tourists to the village. Laura thanks him, and she apologizes for calling him lazy. Emilio says, all's well that ends well. The scene ends with Laura blushing and looking at Emilio. Their child is going to wear a baby shark outfit. And as promised, I was going to talk about how I think rival marriages should be implemented in the game. Well, I really like rival marriages being in the games. However, I don't like the idea of one of the characters being left alone forever, since there are 10 marriage candidates and then there's only one player character. So if there's 11 people, then yeah, someone's going to end up alone. So if the main character chooses a female farmer, then there's going to be a male farmer who also lives in the town, and he's going to live in the forest. So he is going to marry whoever the leftover person is. So if the main character decides to marry Laura, then he's going to marry Emilio. If the main character marries Bridget, then he's going to marry Iori, something like that. The rival scenes and the rival marriages, they probably work something like this. First of all, they're an option in the menu that you have to turn on or off, just like the chat mode is right now, and just like the seedling mode or normal mode is at the moment. When you turn it on, you will start to see rival scenes when you have both of the characters at 3, 5, and 7 musical notes. So you can't see the scenes until you befriended both of the different characters. So you're not going to see rival events or rival marriages unless you've turned on the correct mode and you've become friends with both of the characters. Are all of the pairings that I chose for Pioneers of Olive the same ones that you would have chosen? If there are any that are different, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you would implement rival marriages and events in the same way that I did, or if you'd change it up in some way. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.